Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the 8-Bit Debaters podcast. My name is Paddy and I am here with the wonderful, the gorgeous, the perfect Robert.
Hi.
The absolutely delightfully delicious Alistair.
Good evening.
And the genuine stud muffin himself, John. Hi.
Hola.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Oh, good.
I got back in.
Oh, sorry?
No, it's alright, carry on.
No, after you, sir.
I was just going to say, they let me back in.
To the country or to the debate?
We have revised our address policy, and now he is allowed to come back in.
Now he is welcome. So if you didn't know, this is the 8-Bit Debaters podcast, where we, basically, Twisted Bird Gaming, like to come and have a little fight about the big topics, just in games, really. Not just. And this week, I can't actually remember what this one's all about. Oh dear. So today our debate is going to be the best online multiplayer that's not an FPS. So this one's a little bit tricky because obviously online multiplayers, you always think first person shooters. So this one will give them a little bit to think about. I'll be judging that and we will get to that later. But first we're going to start off with the icebreaker.
The icebreaker.
So this is that little part of the show where you get to know us better. We get to know each other better. It's all very, very cathartic. So today's question is, Al,
Hello.
what's the scariest game you've ever played?
Well, I don't do scary well, so I don't really play many scary games. Because if I want to do something fun, why would I scare the shit out of myself? So the scariest game I probably played is Call of Duty Zombies. Because only for one reason. When I'm trying to leave the game, I panic because there are zombies around me and I don't want them to beat me to death, so I get really, really scared and tense towards the end. So I just and just shut it off immediately. It's real fear. So yeah, and they come out of everywhere. You turn around and there they are. It's terrifying. But yeah, I like I said, don't really play scary games.
Yeah, no, that sounds like an answer. Thank you, John. How about you? What's the scariest game you've ever played?
Cookie Monster. The Alien vs Predator, the first one, 2000.
Okay.
We're talking 1924 type game. It was very much all about the long silences and the occasional bleep on your sense as the alien comes closer and closer.
Like this podcast.
Yeah, pretty hectic game. I don't think I got very far in it just because of how much you shit your pants, and I couldn't really afford more trousers at the time as I was a kid.
We have a limited trouser budget. Stop playing this game.
Yeah, exactly.
You've gone through your quota.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Rob. How about you? Scariest game you've ever played?
The scariest game I've got is gotta be Outlast 2, which nah, fam, no.
Just nah,
fam. I played it for literally 25 minutes, and then I got so scared that I uninstalled it. And ever since then,
they can't get you when you've uninstalled it.
Fucking nah, fam. It's just not happening.
Okay, well, thank you. Mine's actually quite one of gaming's little forever legends. So I'm a gal. I don't do scary games at all. They're just not. They're not fun. But everyone was talking about PT when it came out, the demo, Hideo Kojima's PT. I tried that, and it was scary, and I never went back.
Nah, fam.
I can't do it. Nah, fam. To quote Rob, nah, fam, can't do it. It's just even not even that much happens in the demo, but just the atmosphere was so tense. I mean, I just couldn't. I didn't want it.
There's a baby in a sink. Got it?
Yeah, that was horrible.
What?
Nah, fam.
Nah, fam. Fam. Nah. Oh, well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you feel a little bit closer to all of us. So now we're going to move on to the main part of the show, the mass debate.
The mass debate.
So this is the part of the show, well, it's the main part, really. This is it. This is the main event, where we like to have a little fight over one of the hot topics of the day. So today we're doing the best online multiplayer game that's not an FPS. So the way this works is I will pass over to our three lovely gentlemen, and they will each have a go at pitching their game. And then once they're done with that, we're going to change this up a little bit in this one and actually try and give them a time limit that they have to stick to, because every now and again, Alistair, we go on for 8 minutes with these pitches, and we start them not knowing any more than we end them with. So
how dare you make those assumptions, make accusations?
So we're going to try it a little bit differently. We're going to give them, I think, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. We'll see how generous I'm feeling. And then after that, we're going to let them loose on each other.
It's not enough time for a sentence.
I know. We're going to let them
Hang
loose
on,
each other.
you got a guy with speech disorder here. Give me a 30-second time limit. You taking the piss?
Well, it was your idea.
So
It's a loose 30 seconds.
Rob's game is
And then after we've done the pitch round, we're going to let them loose on each other for them to tear each other's ideas apart, make each other feel small and bad and sad. And then after that, once I've had enough, you will hear this.
Oh shit!
Maybe.
You did it at the wrong bit, Paddy.
No, I did what I want.
And try again.
When I've heard enough, you'll hear this.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Does anyone know the film?
Does anyone know where that's from?
I know one of them. It's one of the Star Wars. It's one of the shit ones. One of the prequels. I think
It's episode 1.
Episode
Phantom
1.
Menace.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that will be the end of the debate. But let's get into it.
Do I win?
So we are going to start off with Alistair.
I've
What is
gone.
the best online multiplayer game that's not a first-person shooter?
I've gone for a bit of an outsider, and I've gone for a way out.
It's almost like you thought Rob might be judging this one.
It's almost like I thought, yeah. But I think it's a lot of different games that you can have as a multiplayer that isn't an FPS, but they're quite samey. You never get attached into an online multiplayer. But a way out, you do. You can play with a complete stranger, and the story and like the having to work together to figure things out to get yourselves through it brings you closer to strangers, and you actually have to. Don't look at me like that, Rob.
Not necessarily a good thing, but carry on.
You actually have to like rely on the other person in the multiplayer. So it's not just you can go on to a game and then you can like just be shot at and then die, and it doesn't matter who you're playing with. It's all going to be the exact same thing. Your experience is tailored by who you play with and how they play, and then also you can play from both sides of the story. So you can constantly play it online and have like a different bit of experience, and everyone plays it slightly differently. So I'm going to try and keep this short, so I'm just going to end it with
A very well thought out, rounded pitch. Right within the time limit, I think, maybe, because I didn't time it. So
I panicked. 30 seconds is not long.
It is not. We might have to revise that one. John, what is the best online multiplayer game that's not a first-person shooter?
I've gone with Warcraft 3. So this is pre-World of Warcraft. Effectively spawned both World of Warcraft, the world, and the game itself, and Dota as a franchise which has evolved into League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm. It's had one of the largest online. Ooh, I picked up a pen. Don't tell me off, Rob. Current online. It had one of the largest online communities that was around at the time. Really set off the whole modding community, and as well as the esports communities. And really, Blizzard really pushed it in terms of tournaments and setting up kind of ranking system on Battle.net itself. Another aspect of it that they kind of pioneered was they brought in the heroes within real-time strategy games. Generally, you had your Command and Conquer and your earlier Warcrafts and so forth, where you just built up X number of units and sent them in a direction. And there was some sort of structure towards it, but they had an individual unit, a powerful unit that you revolved your whole army around, and it would have X, Y, and Z powers that you would then use certain strategies according to what ones you have. Really kind of push the micromanagement aspect of RTS. The thing I wanted to kind of finish off on with it is that they are actually still patching it. The last patch was pushed out in August 2017, and I don't actually have the year that Warcraft 3 was released, but I'm gonna hazard a guess late 90s. So just, you know what I mean, the kind of support that Blizzard give towards it is phenomenal.
Cool. Thank you very much. Very nice pitch. Rob, how about you?
I have gone for Grand Theft Auto 5 or Grand Theft Auto Online, the online portion of Grand Theft Auto, purely because it is as much as it just dominates sort of the past 4 to 5 years of online gaming. It is just so much fun with so much choice in different things to do. you can enjoy both like the cooperative side of things and like the competitive side of things. You've got a customizable character. You've got a real estate you can buy. You've got cars you can buy. So there's a genuine feeling of progression in the game, not just I'm going to play. I don't know, a Call of Duty match after Call of Duty match or Call of Duty match. You choose what you do and you play what the hell that you want, and it can be even enjoyed all by yourself, just playing with randoms as well. So yeah, a Grand Theft Auto online, I think, is the best.
Thank you very much, Rob. Okay, 3 lovely pitches, or 2.5.
Yeah, Rob.
I kept mine short. That's what I said.
No. I wasn't referring to you. So now we'll move on to the fight. Really, I suppose is what we like to call it. Al, you've got some ground to make up. So why don't you start with tearing down someone else's idea?
Yeah, well, you screwed up when someone with a starter is doing a lot better than you with a small segment. But I mean, straight up, like, Grand Theft Auto. It was released.
Amazing.
It's released primarily as a single player game. The online kind of evolved after it was released, so it wasn't like released as a purely online multiplayer game.
And
there aren't the arguments about like the multiplayer online, but it's like the
and
game.
it's still,
the game
it
itself,
doesn't mean it's not the best just because
the game itself wasn't released as an
way.
online. And also, you mentioned that like strangers make it fun. Most of the time, strangers can be dicks and make your time miserable in the lobbies and just hunt you down for no apparent reason because you drove past their tank when they were doing something.
I'm sorry, Al. Have you not learnt how to just move to a new a lobby? Have you just?
No.
Is that not fair? I mean, like at the end of the day, you're having a go at Grand Theft Auto for a griefing, which is just it's just what comes with multiplayer gaming. I mean, at least with mine, there's some form of matchmaking system. I believe in your pitch, you are out and out lied and just say you play with strangers, where you can't play with strangers on the way out. You have to play with a friend. If you don't have a friend, you cannot play.
I mean, you can add someone as a friend even though they're a stranger, and if you just want to
just a random stranger and hope that they go, yeah, all right then.
Yeah.
You hanging around toilets going to.
So you literally have to matchmake all by yourself.
Some of us don't have real friends. We have to find them, all right?
I won't say that A Way Out was a bad game, but like A Way Out is not like one of the best multiplayer games of all time. It's one of the best co-op games of all time, and it's a really good thing to experience with a friend. But in terms of its choices when it comes to multiplayer, you can only play with one other person, and that's it. And you get a really tight and a fun experience of that. But once you've played your 5 or 6 hours, it's done. It's over.
I agree with Rob on that one. It fits the this is a brave maneuver again.
I told you,
it's barely multiplayer. Yeah, it's barely multiplayer. It fits the definition of multiplayer, but
just
purely multiplayer.
Yeah, it's
by the fact it can be it's played by more than one player.
Yeah.
But the fact is, even
of 2.
with mine and John's games, you can play them with one, you can play them with loads of friends, you can play them in a pair, you can play as 4, you can play. There's so many choices when it comes to the multiplayer. And yeah, like if this argument was what is the best a co-op game, I reckon you would have a really, really a strong entry. But
it's still multiplayer.
It is still multiplayer, but you can't compare it when it comes to things that have the scope of Grand Theft Auto 4 and Warcraft 3, and like the dedicated hardcore fan bases that move and evolve.
Grand Theft Auto 4 or 5?
5, 4, who cares?
Yeah. Well, you could have picked one of them. That's the whole point.
I was choosing Grand Theft Auto 5 from like the online part of it, but like when it comes to like A Way Out, it's a brilliant experience, but it's an experience that you experience in 6 hours. It'll be done, and then you put it down, and you probably will play it again in about 2 or 3 years once you've cleared your mind of all the story threads in it. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Have you even played it? I knew you fucking hadn't.
You want to know how many of my debates I haven't played?
You want to say that the best game in the world is a game you can't even be asked to play yourself?
I've won
your point is already
needs a
muted.
friend, to be fair.
I have won arguments with games I haven't played before. Most of my arguments are games I don't play. So
Any time that I
know
go
it.
on these shows with you, I'm going to ask. That's going to be the first question. And if you haven't played it, you're out. You
it's
can't
always
say
gonna
it's
be
the
no.
best game when
I mean,
you haven't played it yourself.
You can say it'd be the best game because if you've seen things of it, you kind of know how the mechanics work. You know how things go on. So
But it can't be good
Yeah,
enough
but-
because you haven't got it, you haven't paid for it. If it was that amazing, you would have like bought it and found someone to play it with, surely.
But I don't buy games. That's it. I just don't do. I don't do games. Like the best game in the world. I just don't. Yeah. Like I just don't deal with it.
It's not even like it's expensive. It's like 20 quid.
I mean,
Actually, it's free. It's free if somebody else you know has it.
Yeah,
yeah, but I probably have to buy it.
which I do.
Yeah,
You
but
ask me.
You never offered. You played it with everyone else, but not me.
I never got very
That's
far
why,
through
that's
it.
why you picked this game, just so you can...
Yeah, I'm
Just
having
so
it
you
out.
can get it.
I was waiting for Rob to bring up the fact of like the multiplayer thing, and I was like, well, you never did.
But it doesn't mean shit
Rob.
when it comes to this argument. Does
I
it?
threw this.
Rob.
I threw this debate just to get at you, Rob.
Rob and John, I would advise going after each other's games because I think you're beating a dead horse ever so slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
No, underdog. I've got a chance.
Warcraft 3.
I'm gonna take. Yeah, okay, yeah, you go.
Warcraft
you go
3,
first.
right? Isn't StarCraft a better RTS? In fact, we've had a debate where what was the best strategy game of all time, where you answered not Warcraft 3, you answered StarCraft. So you already think StarCraft is a better game than Warcraft 3. No?
No, you are correct. There are two different games. Though.
They are two
Yeah,
different games.
they are two different games.
They are
but in
two different games in terms of how they play.
But a
it-
precedent has been set. I want it to be known. A precedent has been set that you consider StarCraft to be a superior game. So yours is not even the best game in its own genre.
But it's the best game out of the three, though. That's what he's arguing. He's not arguing what's the best game ever. Like,
No, he's arguing what the best online multiplayer that's not a first-person shooter.
if one of the answers,
Like StarCraft
if one of
is
the answers
online
was
multiplayer.
StarCraft, then like you could make
Yeah.
that argument. But the fact none of them are a StarCraft, so he doesn't have to argue if StarCraft is a better game.
I think I'm
I'm just
quite
going to
fair.
sit back here and let Al argue.
I think
my corner.
I think I'm fair to. I think
I have to win somehow, John.
I think it's fair to argue that if he doesn't even consider like the game he's chosen the best game in its own genre, it can't very well be the best.
But I would
Okay.
argue I could change my mind.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe he's
within
played
it.
it
I
more
mean,
recently.
it's pretty obvious I'm a Blizzard fanboy. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
guys got that. And it's quite often my answers are that.
Mhm.
There is I admit, yes, I have said StarCraft before. There's a hair's width between the two of them, Warcraft and StarCraft, as to what I.
it's really
personally
hard to
prefer.
call it. Yeah,
Yeah, but like we're saying, there are two different games. I'm not just saying that because they one's in space and the other one's with orcs and elves
Yeah.
and all sorts of shit like that.
high
Um,
fantasy.
But
Sorry.
the key bit of it is the hero kind of dynamic of it,
Mhm.
which is very very different to how StarCraft works. And I think the age of them as well. I do believe there's a remaster for Warcraft 3 that's in the works, which I am really excited about. But we'll wait and see if that happens. I can't see if they bring out Warcraft 4 or anything like that. I think if I was to put them two released at the same time, same kind of capabilities and graphics and so forth, I probably would choose the Warcraft out of the two.
Warcraft 3.
Yeah,
Why-
to be quite honest.
Why was it World of Warcraft actually ended up being a much bigger franchise than the Warcraft?
It's a lot more
series?
accessible, isn't it?
I have
Let's
no
be
idea.
honest, if you look at consoles, the RPG is your staple of it. I mean, to an extent FPS, but you've got retarded controls with it.
Yeah.
It's really clunky trying to... Well, I find it. I mean, a keyboard and mouse for me is trumps it with FPS, and hence why they don't do much cross-platform. But I think with the World of Warcraft, I mean, the amount of content that they shoved out for that is ridiculous. And the the money
So-
platform that they
so-
with the,
By your own admission, Warcraft 3 is not very
I see what you've done,
accessible. Whereas you'll think you'll find GTA 5 is very accessible.
Yeah, after
anyone
like
and
6
everyone
hours
can
of
play.
sitting there waiting,
Yes.
staring at a loading screen.
that is
Yeah, well,
true.
there's nothing wrong with loading screens, mate.
There's
You-
Yeah.
But there's
it is
so
a social
many...
game and a social interaction. You actually have time to sit and have a break from the game and talk well amongst your friends. And I don't
What
care
are
what
these
anyone
friends
says.
you keep asking?
It's a bonding experience when everyone can sit there and go, oh, this is taking quite a long time.
I'm just
And
going to throw in there what that they took our mods with the GTA, didn't they? They went and they shut down one of the most popular modding tools, which
and
led
then
to
they
an
put it,
outcry.
and then they put it back on after.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
not. I was not aware of that.
They turned it back on after the
Also,
outcry.
like,
Damn it.
They listen to their fans.
in the pitch,
Okay.
you did talk about like how there's a sense of achievement in buying things, but I mean that's it goes so quickly because everything else becomes ridiculously expensive, and you get bugger all for doing 90% of the things.
They do
but,
push the microtransactions
Yeah,
quite a
so
lot.
it's like
with it.
it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the whole principle.
I would
behind
say
it
out
is-
of all of the microtransactions that you get fed in GTA, and you'll be lying if you think otherwise. At no point when I was playing GTA Online did I ever feel that they were trying to ram the shark cards and stuff.
Oh, they don't
down my throat.
they don't ram
They
it down
are
your throat.
they're put discreetly. Like in the menus, like if you want to buy them, they're there, they're great, and there's clearly a market for it. And what it's done is brought in a crap load of cash, which they put straight into all the free updates and all the other bits that people have been getting over the year. And this isn't just free updates where it's just clothes and stuff. It's just free updates where it's different game modes, different new fun ways to play with your friends. Let's not forget that the heist mode was not there at the start. They brought that in, and that's probably one of the most fun cooperative experiences that you can have on one of the new consoles.
Can I go back to your definition of discrete, because I do believe that they've plastered all over the 45-minute loading screens, the shark cards and so forth.
I suppose they've got occasional screen that says that you can buy shark cards.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that every single screen is shark card.
But the thing is, like,
I mean,
you say it's discreet.
Do you
but
guys ever feel it's rammed down your throat, or that you're
sneakily rammed down my throat? Because
I mean-
with the updates, like and I'm talking specifically the ice one, the gun running, the Doomsday, and whatever the bike gang one. I can't remember what that was under either. But for those, you need to buy a building. So for like the heist, it would have to be an apartment. For the gun running, it's like a base. For the Doomsday, it's a bunker. So you have to buy the ridiculously expensive buildings, become like a CEO, and buy all the shit that comes with it. So but you
earn that through playing.
Yeah, but it's
the
so
game.
much money, and you don't get enough of it from playing
Well,
like the simple multiplayer. So either
I have as someone who's sort of played it on and off throughout the years, I have managed to play through all of the experiences that is put for me, and I've not paid for like a shark card. And I wouldn't say I've put loads and loads and loads of time into GTA Online. I've put a fair deal into it. Like, I won't lie and say, oh yeah, I've barely played it and I've managed to get experience. Yeah, you've got to have a route of progression. You can't just have a game where hairlight is everything and you can't unlock anything and everything's all free and have it. You need to be able to earn something. You can't just be like, oh, here, have the high-end flat, have the fast cars, have everything. A game needs a sense of progression.
Yeah, but like there's a sense of progression, and then there's your like having to play so much to get one small thing, and then you get like a bit of enjoyment from that, and then something new comes out and you're like, okay, that looks quite cool, I might want to try that, but then you have to play another 4 months worth of GTA in order
I wouldn't say 4 months worth of GTA.
the
the
bunker
bunker
was like 3 million.
the bunker thing that I got, I bought, that was one of the most recent ones, the more expensive lines. The cheapest one was 1.2 million. You could do that like in a heist run, which could take 2 to 3 hours. It's by no means. I mean, I can understand the argument with it being a bit grindy at the start, but I know when the series when they first launched GTA Online, a lot of the feedback that they had is a lot of people had already earned all of the in-game stuff. They'd already got the high-end apartment, they'd already got the fastest car in the game, they've already bought everything. That's why they've raised the ceiling and go, actually, now we've got higher tiers, so there's high-end apartments, now there's airplanes. So I think Rockstar needs to be able to cater for the casual player, just like me and you, who plays it every now and again. Every few months we'll hop on, have a few games. And I mean, like, from my experience on GTA, I've got to play on all the game modes and enjoy them. Or you can be like, I've completely lost my point.
Well, you know what? This is a good place for me to interject. Of those two games, which one would you say was better?
I'd say I'd find it harder to argue against Warcraft 3. Just because GTA, there's a lot more to argue against than there is for Warcraft 3. So for that aspect purely, I'll say Warcraft 3 is the better game.
John, same question to you.
GTA was way out as between Warcraft 3 and GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, between A Way Out and GTA. Which are the other two? Which are the other two?
Yeah, John, there's a choice.
I really want to scratch your back, Al. I really do, but
There's
yeah,
3 of us,
it's
Josh. There's 3 of us at this
GTA.
point. Please. I'm so lonely.
And Rob, how about you? Which of the other two?
I'd have to go with Warcraft 3 of the two. I think it's just obviously when it comes to what's the best a multiplayer game. I think there's a lot more range offered in Warcraft 3, so I'd probably have to say that.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to call it there.
I don't like sand. It's coarse
Got
and
back to the
rough and
shit.
irritating.
know.
When it gets out,
long.
There we go.
Oh, well, thank you very much, guys, for your very spirited debate, Al.
I was Italy in this one.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
I can't do shit, so I jump sides to find the winner.
I'm proud of you, buddy. So fair enough to say it's not going to be A Way Out. I think.
I
It's
gave
a
it my
tricky
best
one
shot.
because I mean I think like just hearing the three, to me, like GTA would come out on top because it's the one I've played, it's the one I really enjoy, one I know a lot more of. But like Al said a little bit during that, there's nobody really said anything against Warcraft 3. Like there wasn't really anything that I think that stood out to me as to like why that shouldn't be. But I'm gonna go GTA just because I know it and I love it, and I just live for the capitalist system, so I just love the microtransactions and the way they just put them straight into your account.
Buy more shotguns, you
Buy
bastard.
more shot cards. Buy them all. Oh well, thank you guys. That was something.
Heated.
That was a thing we did.
It was a thing.
Well, you know what? We're going to call it there on this slightly shorter new version of the 8-Bit Debaters podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been episode 9. I've been Paddy, and I've been here with Rob, Alistair, and John.
Hello.
And if you didn't know who we are, we're Twisted by Gaming, and you could find this podcast on youtube.com/twistedbygaming, as well as lots of podcast services, the good ones, the bad ones, all of them. I don't know, it's everywhere apparently. And then you can also find more of our videos at youtube.com/twistedbygaming. We have a whole bunch more stuff that you can check out, and we will see you again very soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.